everybody, it's Jeff living in the Philippines, and after you've watched this wonderful video, I hope you like and subscribe. There may be some bad language in this video, which can't be helped. That's the way it comes out, and if you don't like it, then now is the time to piss off. On today's video, I'm going to talk about repatriation. Yes, repatriation. In other words, sending either stolen goods or whatever, or people back to the country of origin from another country. Now, the reason I'm talking about this subject, and I'm keeping quite calm about it, is because there was a message on Facebook of Dumagetti asking, does anyone know of a cheap, or should I say everything in Dumagetti has to be cheap? Should I say, does anyone know of a good repatriation service in Dumagetti, as a friend of his has died and wants to be repatriated to the United States? Well, one comment was that it will cost between $5,000 and $10,000, which is a lot of money. Not when you're dead, but for those that are alive, it's a lot of money. And I thought to myself, you come over to the Philippines for a new life, maybe get married, settle down with a girlfriend or whatever, and then when you die, you want to be repatriated back to your own country. And I thought to myself, what the fuck do you want to do that for? Eh? Because, as you may know, or may not know, whether you believe in life after death or reincarnation, when you do actually die, you are fucking dead. You are no more. Or did, if you're from Scotland. Now, when you die, obviously you don't have a care in the world. Once you've got your wooden overcoat on, you're laying there, peaceful, no money worries, no worries whatsoever. But you're dead. But some people leave a request for their partners or wives, whatever it may be, to repatriate their body back home. Now, can you imagine the fucking heartache or the pain in the arse that could cause people? Now, like I said, when you're laying there in the box, you're fucking dead. You're no more. You are not living. All right, your soul may go on to get a jeepney to another place or whatever, and you're reborn somewhere else, hopefully in a much better world. But at the end of the day, you are fucking dead. You are no more. So, these poor souls in the Philippines have got to get your body, after it's been probably displayed in a chapel, where all your friends and neighbours come and play bingo and play cards and get pissed. I don't really give a shit about you, but it's an excuse to get together with everybody. And after 10 days, your coffin is taken away, blah, blah, blah. And someone has got to ship your body to the airport and load it on a plane with all the paperwork and the costs and everything else. Not only that, but have you ever considered the poor sods back in your home country? Yes. They receive a message saying, we're going to send Mr. So-and-so's body over on the 20th of the month. Can you be at the airport to collect it and identify it? Well, what a fucking shock for someone in your home country that is not really bothered. Not only that, they've got to take the day off work, arrange for an undertaker, go up to the airport, probably sign for your body and everything else, and have to come back and do all the paperwork again, and maybe a funeral service or cremation, I don't know. But if it's going to cost $5,000 to $10,000 or even more, it could be less, I don't know, I'm not experienced in this field. But if you're going to pay that much, wouldn't it be better just to stay in the fucking Philippines and let the people that you love spend the fucking money? Does it really matter? I'll tell you something. In all my long years, I have never, honestly, ever been to a cemetery to visit any of my relatives. Never. Luckily for me, my parents were cremated, and most people in the UK do get cremated now, but there are still the odd ones that want to be buried and have a tombstone and everything else. But, you know, it's all good intentions at first, but after a while, especially if it's fucking pissing down with rain one day or snowing, they're not going to visit you in the fucking graveyard. So you might as well get fucking cremated. Or better still, stay in the Philippines, where it's warmer, cheaper, and people look after their dead much better than people in Europe or America or whatever country you come from. I've been to a place, it's Cordova, just outside Paho. I went to a cemetery in Cordova, and it was absolutely beautiful. It was like a green meadow. There was only a few tombstones there, but it's a private one. I think you have to pay $150,000 to plan your plot. And I thought to myself, what a fucking beautiful place to be. And I actually looked at a place where I would like to be buried. And it was under a tree, actually. And the reason I picked it under a tree was because if it's a really hot day, I'll still be shaded by the tree. But the only disadvantage about being planted near a tree is you may find a root going up your arse one day, or down in your mouth and splitting your whole skeleton in half with the tree roots. That's the only disadvantage. But would I really care, because I will be fucking dead? So, not only that, but in the Philippines, there are certain days of the year where families go and visit their dead. And I've actually been part of that ceremony where my partner went to visit her father with all the family, and they take food. And they all sit round the tomb or the grave, wherever it is, and they eat lunch. Obviously, the poor sod in the hole don't get fuck all because he's dead. But the Philippines do tend to care for their dead more than what Europeans or other countries that I know of. I'm only referring to the UK, what I know of. And I know for a fact that no one goes up to the cemetery nowadays in the UK, not unless you're really, really into that sort of thing. But I've got a choice. I can either be buried in a local graveyard just up the top of the road from Paho, within walking distance. Not that I'm going to walk, I'll be carried. And I may be on the lower tier or the top tier where they have to get a ladder to slide my coffin in. The only problem with that, it's a bit noisy. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to handle all the noise and everything. But the one I liked in Cordova was very, very nice. Yeah, and that is that's what I like, and that's cheap. I'll be buried. Well, no, not buried. I will, when I die, I will be in a nice white coffin with the lid by your head opens up, and I'll be laid to rest in a chapel where next door we have a savi shop. Now, when there is a funeral, my partner always has to work late because people are wanting beer and snacks and everything else. Now, one good advantage with that is that when I die and I'm laid to rest in the chapel, I'll be making money at the same time. Well, my partner will be making money at the same time. I won't be making fucking anything, except listening to the fuckers outside playing cards and bingo and playing fucking music, and generally having a good time, and no one ever coming up to the coffin and having a good look or see whether I'm in a good mood or not. So that's one of the advantages. It's cheap. I think you lay in state for 10 days, and then they come and the funeral people come and throw you in the back of a van, and then you go up to the cemetery and get buried or put in one of the high-raised flats where you have to have a pair of binoculars to see the person's name on the slab. But isn't that better? Isn't that fucking better than having to trouble someone in the Philippines, especially if you're married? How would your wife feel if you decide to go back to your own country to get fucking buried? She'd be heartbroken. Well, maybe not. But anyway, wouldn't it be better just to stay here in the Philippines, get buried in the Philippines, and give her the fucking $5,000 or $10,000 so she can enjoy herself? Don't be so selfish, you boys. You know, fucking hell, you come over here trying to get your leg overs, and then when you have your leg overs, you want to be posted back to fucking wherever you came from. And think of the people over in the country where you came from. They don't want to be hassled, having to take a day off work and signing papers and, you know, maybe recognise you in the coffin when you're all screwed up like a prune. No, fuck it, bollocks. Stay where you are. It's warmer, it's cheaper, and they look after you more. So, have a good day. I hope you're still breathing after this. Like and subscribe, because I need subscribers. And I'm sorry if it's not a very pleasant subject, but it's a subject that has to be talked about. So, that's my take. I will be buried here in the Philippines, and I will be happy. Yes, happy. Take care. All the best. Bye.